And we are recording, Mr. Mel.
You know, my cell phone, if I put the charger in, it doesn't charge unless I have to like pull up on it a little bit.
Oh,
Once your
yeah.
phone's at that point, there's no saving it. You just gotta get a new phone.
There's things you can do. Sometimes, and this is a sort of guy I thought it was stupid until the Verizon guy did it in front of me. Sometimes gene fuzzies get stuck in there. And if you just take a little like paper clip, something very thin, like your wiener, just stick it right
Yeah.
there. And like scrape around like a bunch of like little gene fluffies, like fluffies from your pants, from being in your pockets, get rolled up, and they block the ports in there. And I shit you not, the guy did it for me, and like so much and it was clearly like jeans, like pieces of your jeans that just teeny tiny pieces that over time fall in there and roll up and turn to like little tiny balls.
Oh.
So much of it came out. And then
Well, listeners, this technique only works on loose phones, not on loose vaginas or loose buttholes.
Shit.
I can tell you that if I'm taking a dick on the regular and my butthole's getting a little bit loose, digging out some of my jeans isn't gonna help.
Yeah, that's not good.
I just gotta practice my Kegels, and I have to make better choices in life,
And if your jeans got burned up in there, then you're either doing something wrong or doing something right. I can't.
Yeah, you never know.
I can't figure out which one.
Yeah.
Because that ass is on fire. Anyways, try that. If not, it could be the charger. Try those two things. But anyways, we're going to do this in 3, 2, 1. What are you doing?
Testes in my mouth.
Get on the ground, you fucking pledge.
Ew.
Welcome to the greatest podcast experience of your life. This is the FratChat Podcast.
All young men like 3 things. Food, news, pussy.
Featuring Carlos Garcia and Chris Moore.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasting time. Right now on election day, baby, it's the FratChat Podcast. I'm Carlos Garcia with Chris Moore. How's it going, Mr. Mo?
Yo, what's up, man?
I am living the dream, and I actually caught myself about to fuck up the intro and say the wrong word, and then my brain brought it back before the words came out. And I felt so good about that.
What word was it going to be? Were you going to say faggot?
No. I was going to say spick, but
Yeah.
I can say it. No, I was going to say
house. We call them Canadians.
That's exactly. So, I don't know where I was going with it. But the brain took a right turn and fixed it. And I got into my exit and caused an accident 3 cars behind me. That's okay.
Fuck them.
So, as long as I get to the Walmart, I'm cool. But it is today in America, our number 1 listener out of our 69 countries. Oh, yeah. It is election day here in America.
Yes.
So I hope, you're listening to this while standing in line for voting, or maybe after, or on your way to the booth. But make sure you get out there and vote. This is an important ass election. This podcast came out at midnight on election day, so you have all goddamn day to go vote, unless you listen to this at like 7 p.m., in which case, you beat. But get out there and do the thing, people. This is an important election, and things have been heating up in the last coming days. I don't know if we were talking off air about this a little bit, and comedian Tony Hinchcliffe got into Uncle Jojo Rogan's best buddy and host of the popular stand-up show now, Kill Tony. He got in some hot sauce, as we say in my country, when he, to be fair, he did his act, and he did some, pretty racist jokes that did not land very well at Donald Trump's Madison Square Garden rally this past week. And, of course, as is typical Trump campaign MO, They had no idea about who the fuck he is or what he does or anything that he was going to say before he got up there. And they just put it all on him and, left him out there to die. To be fair, I do think this helped him more than the campaign. Everybody's talking about him right now. And the campaign, meanwhile, is the one that was left with the naughty, naughty views from everybody. Everybody's like, ugh. Even when it's bad when a crowd of MAGA people are like, oh, that's too far, dude. Like, you shouldn't have said that.
So we were talking about this at work. Remember when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock?
Oh, do I ever?
And I stood behind Chris Rock wholeheartedly. I said, us stand-up comics need to stick together and support art. And
Yeah.
although I don't agree with Tony's remarks, and I don't think it was a funny set, to be honest. I thought it was just mean. Like, there wasn't any cleverness to it. I'm going to support him as an artist because I've done some political rallies in my past, and every single joke had to be pre-approved. I had to write everything out word for word, and they would argue and want to collaborate on certain points. And I'm like, this is my voice. This is how it's got to be. Like I will drop this joke if it makes you uncomfortable, but I'm not going to drop my cadence. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of bickering back and forth, but that's the world, because everyone's PR agent that was associated with this event, their PR agent was up my ass about it because I was hosting, and I've done this a few times. So I guess my point is that there's no doubt in my mind that Trump has employed quite the PR team. He needs it. If anyone needs a PR team, it's Trump.
Dude.
And
he doesn't tweet without a room full of people and him wordsmithing every tweet, which is scary because if you see the shit he tweets, it's terrifying. But
oh yeah,
he doesn't do anything by himself now. He has a whole team of fucking people. Of course they knew.
Yep. So
ridiculous.
So yeah, I think that Tony was hired to do a job. He did his job. He part of his job was to get everything improved, and he did. And he did what he was hired to do. And that's it. I don't know what they were expecting from him, because he is known as a mean comic, and that's I mean, and listen, I actually don't mind his jokes. He's really active in the Comedy Central roasts, and I think that Comedy Central roast is I think he does a lot of a good in the comic community. As far as roasts are concerned, I just didn't think that the Trump rally was his best set, and I also
absolutely. And it happens to the best of us. Shit, I bombed. We're all bombed, and if you haven't bombed, you're not trying. It happens to all of us.
A few years ago, Tony was in Austin and ruffled feathers because he said the CHINK word. He made a racist comment about an Asian comic, and he's never apologized for it. So people are like, "Are you surprised to see him at the rally?" And I was like, "No." He might be a shit person based on the fact that he said racist things in the past, never owned up to it, never apologized for it, got a lot of trouble for it. He seems like the demographic that would flock to a Trump rally. So I wasn't surprised to see him there. I wasn't surprised to hear what he said, because that's his MO. He says mean things, and he's made a career off of it. And I'm not surprised that Trump's campaign is trying to distance themselves. Everything is predictable at this point.
But here's the thing. He was reading off a fucking teleprompter, people.
Yeah,
so
100%. Correct.
You just no way that literally. So I made a sketch about that. Check it out on all my socials at Carlos Does the World, including YouTube. Because there's no fucking way that they don't know that this stuff is happening. So that's one thing if it's him with his little notes. He did it on the fly. For example, back in the day, comedian Andrew Dice Clay. He's like, "Hey, yo, how you doing?" That guy. He's very controversial comedian from the 80s and 90s, and he's back at it now. He's still the man, and he's done some movies as well. But his act was very, very filthy, and I can't remember if it was the 95, 96, 97 MTV Awards. He was asked to do a monologue and do a little set there, and they told him you can't curse, which is like telling Donald Trump to stay on topic. You know what I mean? Like it's just you can't. It's not
Telling
gonna
Donald Trump
happen.
to keep his hand out of people's pussies.
Yeah, right. It's not gonna happen. You just know that shit's gonna go off the cliff. And he had this pre-prepared set of jokes that he was gonna do that were like kind of like his stuff but cleaned up. And he fucking was pissed, but he was, I got it's all this money. It's MTV. This will be the biggest break of my career. And he was already huge, but this would fucking make him, And he went out there and he was about to do it, and all of a sudden he looked at the crowd, and you can just tell he goes, "Fuck it," and he did his filthiest fucking set, like all his filthiest jokes. They're all kind of like nursery rhymes that end up in telling you to go fuck yourself and shit like that. It's like bada bing, bada boom. I stuck my finger in your boom boom, and like shit like that. And like, of course, there was a huge uproar and he got banned from MTV. But he's like, fuck you guys. You knew who you were getting when you hired me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking Andrew Dice Clay. You're going to tell me to not fucking curse? That's like telling Joe Pesci not to say the F word in movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they couldn't even get him not to say it in Home Alone. They had to edit him out, for God's sakes. What do you fucking think? Like, come on. So it's
that's like inviting Amy Winehouse, but being like, you have to be sober.
Yeah, right. Believe me, she tried. Ooh, yeah. And we're going to hell now. But yes, the point stands. They knew who the fuck they were getting. They pre-approved everything. There was a goddamn teleprompter. So don't goddamn tell me. Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining, like a popular Baltimore ad used to say. Don't fucking tell me.
Piss on my leg and tell me I should be thankful.
That's right. What was it? There was a Superman movie too. It's like, don't piss in my glass and tell me it's like Sweet Aunt's peach tea. It's like, get the fuck out of here. But anyways, that's that. So Tony, sucks to bomb in an event that big, but I think it helped his career.
Of course it did.
And it was, now everybody's checking out his other shit, I'm sure. So it all worked out for him. I'm sure he'll be fine. But anywho, onto another little piece of news I got for you. Another speaker that went under the radar at the Trump event was one that was up there to argue that Trump supporters were not, in fact, garbage. This happened at a different rally a couple days later. After Joe Biden said that the MAGA movement was garbage, he went to clarify that he didn't mean its people, he just meant the movement. And so now, of course, for Halloween, all the weirdos started dressing up like garbage. But anyways, that's beside the point. Brett Favre went up there to talk about how he's MAGA, and damn well that MAGA people are not garbage. However, and this is with all due respect, because I really fucked with Brett Favre when he was a legendary quarterback on the field, throwing dingers. He was fantastic as a Green Bay Packer. We forget the season with the Jets, but then he came back with the Minnesota Vikings and had a hell of a comeback. And he was fucking good those 2 seasons he played with them. Life was good. He rode off into the sunset. But then things got weird. And Brett Favre started doing some garbage-y things, like sending dick pictures to reporters and fucking allegedly being involved in an embezzlement scheme in Mississippi that involved taking welfare funds and trying to put them into building.
During COVID, right?
Yep. And he tried to fucking put them into building a volleyball at his daughter's school, a volleyball court at his daughter's school instead. And he was supposed to do some speaking arrangements that he never delivered on for a drug company that had something to do with some like sports injuries. And basically he still owes the state of Mississippi like $700,000 because of the embezzlement stuff. So I'm going to tread lightly here because I cannot afford getting sued by Brett Favre. But it's hard for the Trump campaign to argue that you're not a garbage movement when you bring up people to speak that do garbage things to other people. Again, I love Brett Favre's dingers, but you can't look past the dick pics and stuff. It doesn't help your case, man. It does, especially with Trump's like sexual harassment accusations and shit. It doesn't help your case. And I know, sure, most of the MAGA people are going to be like, yo, that's Brett Favre, fuck yeah. And they're going to look past all this shit. But it's like, come on, man. What are you thinking? You could have had anybody else. Anybody. Because here's the thing, and it's tough for me to say this because, you know, obviously emotions get involved. But there are some good people that are coming out and supporting Trump that I'm like, huh? That you could fucking get up there to speak. But Brett Favre, bro, no, you all fucked up. It's like, again, the Kill Tony thing. It's like, you guys are picking these people, and you're having them speak at your rallies. And I don't know if you're purposely trying to get bad press, and maybe that's just the Trump MO. Get bad press, and then their supporters get riled up, like it's the fucking media, blah, blah, blah. And then it gets them to like them even more. But it's not. This is not working, guys. Y'all got to do something different. But by the time this comes out, it's election day in America. So
back in the 90s, the NFL banned him from drinking alcohol. And I remember thinking to myself, like,
that's not gonna happen.
That's not his drug of choice. He has a Vicodin addiction. Okay, fine. I won't drink alcohol, but I'm gonna I'm gonna take these painkillers like a motherfucker. He had a really bad Vicodin addiction and had to go to rehab. And Wikipedia, I saw, it says that he had a near fatal seizure because his addiction was so bad. Because when you get off of these drugs, like the withdrawal can be pretty insane. Like people who are like really severe alcoholics, sometimes they can't stop drinking without like medical intervention because
that's what happened to Amy Winehouse.
Yeah,
she tried to go cold turkey and died, which is awful.
Yikes!
I can't imagine that. But yeah, it's what do you guys? You know, these guys are stupid at best, ignorant at worst. But either way, I don't think you're helping Daddy Don's chances there. However, this is going to be a close ass election. So I gotta say, you know, I have no idea who's going to win at this point. I really don't. I used to be when Kamala first joined the race. I was like, I think we're looking good now. But it's so close, man. It's people have a short memory with Donald Trump, which really benefits him, but they hold her to a much higher standard, which I think is pretty unfair if you think about it. But it is what it is. So I don't know. This is going to be a tight election. Anywho,
well, we'll see what happens. But you know, after 2016, like I can't predict anything because I really, really thought that Hillary had it in the bag. So after 2016, my prediction is as good as next person's. And, you know, I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie, I totally called in 2016 that Trump could win, and my mom is like, no way, and she was like laughing at me because she's like she knows her shit politically. She's an expert in this shit, and so the last one, I was scared, but I really, really thought everybody was sick of Trump because of all the shit. And I thought the Biden movement had everybody really invigorated to vote. You know, he tried so hard to stop the mail-in votings that I was like, okay, I think we got this. But this one, I am totally in the middle. I have no idea who the fuck's gonna win. It's gonna be too close to call. And it's crazy because life for everybody will be drastically different depending on who wins. And it's wild. It's not like back in the day where it used to be like, you know, like Obama versus like a Mitt Romney, like, or Obama versus John McCain. You just felt like whoever won, country was in good hands. You know what I mean? You were fine. Even though Bush crashed the ship, you know, when he ran against what's his face?
Gore?
Al
Gore?
Against Gore. Yeah, if Gore would have won, it would have felt like, you know, the country would have been fine. He would have been a great president. It's like, it's one of these things where you just didn't worry about it. And even the guy that he ran after the second time around, John Kerry, I think was his name.
Oh, yeah.
John Kerry looked like a fucking ghoul, but he was a qualified man. You just felt like whoever won, things would be about the same in some ways. Like it wasn't so drastic of a plan, and you just felt like you were in good hands regardless. And it was more like all right, good game, bro, type of sportsmanship to elections. Now it's like, things get scary. I'm not gonna lie. I am worried. But we shall see. We shall see what happens. Anyways, Mr. Mao, it is time. Oh yeah. It is time for the sizzle to come. It's time for us to roast each other a little bit. And comedians roast each other for 60
All right,
seconds.
all right.
And now including cool sizzling background noise there. Yeah, because we're professionals here at the FratChat Podcast. All right. Anyways, this is where we're real worlded people.
Yeah.
Things, we start getting real. It's the real FratChat. Anyways, we're gonna do this. I do. Oh, one. By the way, now that it's election day, did anybody ever tell you could be Donald's fourth son? You kind of look like them, but the second gay one behind Don Jr. You know what I mean?
You know what? I'll take that as a compliment because I think his family's actually pretty attractive.
Ooh, really?
I mean, Ivanka's beautiful.
Ivanka's beautiful, yes. But the other one, the one that looks like Eric Trump, that's the one you remember.
You know what? After a few drinks at the bar, it is what it is. I just want you to know I've been blowing my nose so much because I'm sick again. I don't know. I just get so I've been blowing my nose so much, but I made a game out of it that I look at this naughty tissue like an ink blot because I got that idea from you because that's what you do with every time you wipe your butt. You look at it and then you treat it like an ink block.
And then I send it to you in the mail. But I looked to see if you were in the Epstein flight logs when you were younger. But then I remember you had no friends back then, so it just made that way easier. It was like, nope, he's innocent. So get clear. Yeah, that is 60 seconds. Comedians roasting each other. To be fair, you did have grandma, so shout out to grandma.
I did have grandma.
Oh man,
Epstein. Are we ever gonna find out who was on those? Are those flight logs like public?
Well, here's the thing. Trump actually was interviewed about that himself. He's like, if you were president, do you feel like those need to be released? And he's like, oh, no, not really. Okay. So he's all over that shit.
Yikes.
So it's never going to come out. Meanwhile, the Diddy stuff, like the FBI and stuff, got a hold of that. So now, some asshole's going to leak it.
But I feel like with Diddy, I don't understand how. I don't know. Maybe if we had very concrete evidence that Donald Trump was part of like the Epstein stuff, like he wouldn't even be running for president right now. Like if someone would just dig that shit up and so it's got to be some really, really powerful people wrapped up in that.
You got him saying that he throws himself to women and doesn't even wait for a response and grabs them by the pussy, and then he got convicted of rape, and people freaking are like, those are the goddamn Democrats making this up. So with Trump, it's different. But and you have the video of Diddy beating the shit out of Cassie, which also I think that's really what started it all. If that doesn't come out, I think Diddy would have never been indicted for anything. And also Trump has teeny tiny hands, so can you imagine him like trying to beat up a woman? Like it's not gonna be nearly as scary of a video.
Yeah, his hands are like this big.
I like, if a lady tries to run away from Donald, he's not catching her. You know what I mean? So the video just doesn't get made. It'd just be him running, jiggling in his towel, like, and that would have been the video.
Yeah.
So it's just unfortunately two different situations. But yeah, I don't know what it is, man. He is. They call him Teflon Don sometimes, and I agree, man. He's managed, even though he's convicted of all this shit. Like if he wins the presidency, when his sentencing for the 34, 33 felonies is going to be after the fact, after he wins the election. So when he gets sworn in, all that stuff's going to go away.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, which is crazy. I don't know. This is a weird world that we live in right now, Mr. Mo. Very strange. But anywho, it is such a strange world that at least we know that we at the FratChat Podcast aren't the only ones that are stressed. You know what I mean? We're not the only ones that are feeling the pressure. So, what are we going to do here? We're going to make this fun for y'all. We're going to make this exciting for y'all. We're going to make
Who
this
likes Molly?
boozy for y'all. Yeah, baby. It's time to get drunk. You got to get a little boozy when the world might collapse. Because you don't know what the fuck's going to happen. No matter what side you support, everybody's a little worried this election. And we know, starting with the last election, now election night is going to be a very, very, very long night. So we here at the FratChat Podcast are here to get you drunk with the election night 2K24 drinking game. Yeah, bow, 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 bow. Oh
Meow, 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 meow.
yeah. Oh yeah. We're about to get lit. And we have this perfect little drinking game. 10, I would say 10A scenarios to pull out your flask, your shot glass, your beer, whatever the hell it is you're enjoying during this boozy election night, and take a nice shot, drink, gulp of your beverage every time these things happen. And trust me, you say 10 things, that's not that much. Oh, we're going to get you drunk right here at the FratChat Podcast because we're good at this. This is what we did in college. We're both great at drinking games. So we created the ultimate election drinking game. We're going to get you drunk, people. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Anyways, let's start with number 10 there, Mr. Mo.
Okay. I have drank every time the news mentions Puerto Rican voters. I feel like after Tony had some things to say about the island of Puerto Rico, there's been a big focus on the Puerto Rican votes. Such a focus. I feel like all the demographics are irrelevant at this point. Everyone just wants to know how the Puerto Ricans are going to vote.
Totally. Well, here's the thing. There's about, I think it's somewhere between 500,000 to 700,000 Puerto Ricans in the battleground states. So,
specifically in Pennsylvania. So I think there's more in other battleground states, but just in Pennsylvania itself, it's just a huge state, a pivotal state for this election.
And those
that
are
could
getting
swing
won
the vote
out by
either way.
Totally, and those are getting won out by 60,000 votes, 50,000 votes, 100,000 votes. So literally, every vote counts. And you have, for example, Bad Bunny went on his Instagram and endorsed Kamala. So did J-Lo. And let's see, Puerto Rican stars. There was another guy, I'm forgetting his name. This dude, he went on a Trump rally and was like all about Trump. And then after all this stuff happened, he changed. Oh, Nicky Jam. He changed he withdrew his support from Trump. Like he actually went on a rally, had a MAGA hat on. He was a big Trumper. And then he went on his Instagram. He has 45 million fucking followers himself, which is wild.
Who is this? Nicky Jammy?
Nicky Jam.
Nicky Jam?
Yeah.
I never heard Nicky Jam before.
Well, you're also 73 years old, so, it happens.
Nicky
I would
Jam.
blame him because we'll get sued. But if you saw, I don't know if you know him by looking at him, to be honest. But yeah, he did a rally, and just between J Lo, Bad Bunny, this Nicky Jam guy, and all the other celebs that have withdrew their support from Trump or just flat out gone to Kamala and say that they love her. You have almost 200 million fucking people following them on Instagram. In an election where you need 500,000, that about tracks about getting that influence to flip on Trump. So it's going to be a very, very interesting election where I think it is going to be close. It's going to be Georgia. After reading a bunch of things and seeing some stuff and seeing what the people are saying, Georgia has me worried about where it's going to land. It landed famously to Joe Biden in the 2020 election, and it's the same state that Trump tried to extort out of the missing votes, saying, I just need to find 11,300 votes or whatever the hell it was. So I don't know. It's going to be tight. But anyways, yes, every time they mention Puerto Rico, take a shot, take a gulp, take a drink. We're going to start
Have a
buzzing you up right
Corona.
here.
Wait, what's the
Yeah.
stereotypical Puerto Rican drink? I know, like in like DR, people drink a lot of Presidente. It's like fresher there or something. But in Puerto Rico, what do people drink there? Is it rum? I feel like islands. I feel like you
Puerto
probably see
Rican
more
rum is
rum.
pretty famous, but it says here are some cocktails and drinks from Puerto Rico. The pina colada, I guess, is famous in Puerto
Oh,
Rican.
have a pina colada, guys.
Yeah, buddy. A coquito sounds which is a creamy, sweet rum-based cocktail with a tropical coconut flavor made with coconut milk, coconut cream, sweet condensed milk, rum, cinnamon, vanilla, and cloves. I have had this, and it's fucking amazing.
That's what they say.
And
They say it's delicious, but what they don't say is that it stains your clothes.
It's funny because if it stains your clothes, it looks like the Monica Lewinsky dress because it's all white and creamy. But it has condensed milk. You can make caramel with condensed milk. Like it's like a sweet, creamy, delicious, gooey. I'm making this sound weird. Substance. Oh yeah, SEMO. That's really good for sweetening things. You can even put it directly on like pancakes and waffles and shit. We do that in Venezuela. And that's great. So Coquito, have one of those people. Yeah, you're gonna get drunk. Anyways, this one is guaranteed to also get you drunk because it's gonna happen a lot. No matter what channel you're watching this shit on, they're gonna interview a fuck ton of people. So you're gonna drink every time they interview someone during this bountiful election night, people. Let's see how tough you are.
You mean like in all the major cities when they have like a group of people and then the reporter's like, what do you think's gonna happen? Like that?
Absolutely, like that, or when they bring in their, like their experts that come on and talk about shit. Anytime someone who's not the regular on the show comes on, for an interview and shit about the election and what's going on. Now, if it's like their news guy and like he goes off to their correspondent or whatever, that's not an interview. But then if the correspondent pulls off some politician or whatever, or they bring in, Pete Buttigieg, that's an interview. He doesn't work for CNN or Fox News. So just every time they interview someone, take a shot, take a drink your coquito. It'll be good.
Well, in addition to that, I would say you should also drink. So, like, okay, there's so many celebrity endorsements. There's so many, and like, I understand why Kamala brought on Jennifer Lopez because she's Puerto Rican. So she's trying to secure the Puerto Rican vote because that's a big vote right now. But then the other part of me is like,
and Beyonce, that secures the gay and dance community right there.
Yeah, but both J-Lo and Beyonce are tied to the Diddy scandal. So I'm like, is that Is that a good endorsement? I don't know, because part of me is like, maybe they're untouchable at the moment until they get that sorted out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Especially
and
J-Lo. So I think you should drink anytime you see a celebrity that might have ties with the Diddy parties.
is this election going to be basically Diddy versus Epstein?
It might be. Oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. It might
Because
be.
this is really where this is heading, and everybody's like quick to point fingers, but like, you know. However, I don't think Kamala herself was ever at like a Diddy orgy. Meanwhile, there's a reason why Trump didn't go, oh yeah, you should release the Epstein things.
You
So,
know, she used to date Montel Williams. Remember the talk show host? And he would go
mhm.
to the Diddy parties.
Yeah, but still, I could see Montel getting it on. Montel was a pimp with his bald head and his little mustache in the 90s. Montel was the man. Everybody loved
Yeah.
Montel, you know? So, ooh. But yeah, you said take a drink anytime a celeb has ties with Diddy, but also for extra booziness, also have a drink anytime you see a celebrity that's tied to Epstein. We gotta
Yes.
get you drunk. We're gonna get you drunk, people. That's what we're here to do. You might even fight a motherfucker or two. We're gonna get you drunk. Oh boy, but yeah, this is where this is headed. However, there's some celebs, like for example, I don't see Beyonce staying because there's the party and there's the after party. And like for example, there was like the white parties that were famously going on back in the day with like Ashton Kutcher swinging on a chandelier. I think at that part of the phase of the party, the freaky stuff wasn't really happening other than like, your traditional drunk hookups and shit like that. I think it's the weird after parties to start later on. So I don't imagine Beyonce getting tied up on this. Like I don't see her as a type of woman. Like she's out there working all the goddamn time. I don't see her fucking, having weird kinky threesomes with poopy strippers at 4 a.m. I just don't.
You know what
And
though? Yes and no. Now, yes. But there was a time when she was just one part of a huge girl group, and she had to break out on her own. And one of her biggest moments as a breakout solo artist was when she did Crazy in Love with Jay-Z. So who knows what she was pressured into doing to secure a successful future. I'm not saying that she was um doing nasty things with underage people, but what I am saying is that when she was starting out, she could have been coaxed or persuaded into doing some not so kosher things to secure
oof, yeah,
a
I
career.
guess
Like it's
anybody could.
sad. Like I think she could have been a
But that
victim in
goes both
this. You know what I
ways,
mean?
on all the celebrity, especially if you look at some of the Trump
Oh, you still there?
endorsements. Like he's got some
Oh, I think I lost.
wackos that have done some weird things, like Hulk Hogan, for example. Man, sitting right there, that's the character though. But the person, Terry Bollea, has gotten canceled several times, and he's out there rocking. Let me tell you something, brothers. So I don't know. I feel like it's tough. Uh, and we just lost Simo. I guess they took him out.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I lost I lost reception.
There you go. I thought you were just really offended. So don't you ever say that.
Wait, what happened? Wait, what was the last thing I said?
I don't know. We were talking about the celebrity endorsements on both ends.
Oh, well, I was saying as far as Beyonce's concerned, I think now she wouldn't be
Yeah. You
involved
said
in that
that. You
stuff.
said it.
But I do think that when she was younger, there could have been some poor behavior which she was a victim of in order to I guess um may I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I just feel like
Yeah, because we don't want to
sh
speculate on that. We don't
I don't
know.
wanna speculate,
We really don't
but
know.
I wouldn't be surprised if she had a story as a victim, when she was starting off to break out on her own because, it seems like a lot of these, young starlets and young celebrities like had to pay their dues in like the worst kind of way.
Ugh. Yeah. That's shitty. But we shall wait and see because really, I don't know. I feel like I hope that she was safe at least. Now the Beebs, maybe I don't know that one.
Oi.
He actually lived with Diddy for a while too. I was like, ooh, that one's definitely a collar puller for sure. But I'd like to think Queen Bee was safe. That's just me. Anyways, up next, this I feel like this one's really. They're all gonna get you hammered, but we're gonna keep pushing along here. You're gonna take a drink every time Trump tweets on Truth Social because that's really what he puts out. I'm sure he'll put it all out on Twitter too this time around, but that's what primarily he does. You don't have to be a Truth Social member. I'm sure Fox News and CNN and all of them will be airing out tweets as they come out in real time, and you know who's going to be all over it. So keep an eye out, people.
I feel like every celebrity in the world has like a PR team that like manages their social media, and Trump is the one person who's like, no one's tweeting but me.
Oh, I did see videos of him and his team drafting messages together. And it's wacky to see those people. Maybe that's why it's like so choppy when it's written because it's like 5 different ideas being meshed into one thing, and it just clearly looks like the person writing it doesn't understand syntax. But you also know when he tweets directly because it's usually in all bolds. There's no punctuation, and things like "covfefe" are written in there. So
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you can tell when it's him versus when it's his team. When there's punctuation at least and commas, it's his team. But he will be out there telling people to tweet on his behalf. He will be tweeting all night. You know he's going to be all over it. So I'm sorry, guys. We love you. We're trying to make you forget this election.
Yeah.
What'd you go next?
I also just want to know if Trump doesn't win, what's next for him? He has this huge following. Like, what's he gonna do with it? I don't know.
Well, he's gonna pocket their money from their donations, use it to pay off the remainder of his legal fees. It's
Is
gonna
he
be
allowed to do
interesting.
that? I don't think you're allowed to do that if it's campaign funds.
Well, a lot of his campaign funds have already gone to paying his legal fees.
Oh, really?
That hasn't stopped him. So, and even there's a lot of fine print into a lot of the things he does because he also has like a lot of coalitions. Like this coalition for Trump to fight the election fraud, coalition for the wall and shit. And a lot of them have fine prints on them that says he's allowed to take some of that money and use it for other reasons, and that includes his legal fees. So, he'll be doing that, and I don't know. He's the thing. He's old. Like he's like really old. So he'll probably just go back to being Donald Trump, and he'll probably go on these like MAGA speaking tours and make money off the grifting that way. But he's gonna keep grifting. That's the thing. He'll keep grifting and fighting his legal cases. But I don't think that even if he gets like he was obviously convicted of these things, I don't think they're gonna physically send him to jail. I think at most they'll give him like house arrest for like 6 months. But
At Mar-a-Lago, wow, what a punishment!
yeah, exactly. They'll Napoleon him essentially and send him off to his own island over there, and his Mar-a-Lago spaces or one of the international ones. Who knows? But setting the precedent of sending a sitting president to jail. Even Nixon got pardoned. It would be tough. It would be a tough one to set. So I just don't think either side really wants necessarily that to happen. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting, though.
Jeez
Anywho.
Louise. Well, next up on my list, I have to say that one of Kamala's best soldiers this campaign has been the brilliant Pete Buttigieg. And
He's the man.
he he's like the all-American guy. Oh, except he's gay. I wouldn't say the all-American guy is gay.
American gay.
He's all American. But he fought in the military. He he held office before running for president last election. Um, he really is a great member of the Democratic Party. So
And he's the Secretary of Transportation, and he gets a lot
yeah,
done.
he gets a
So
lot
he's doing
done, and he's a great debater. So
yes.
he
He's a
has
master
gone.
debater.
He's a master debater. He's gone on Fox News a
Oh
lot.
yeah, Simo.
And Fox News is like enemy territory, for his party, and he
And
goes
he
there and
goes
he
there
holds his
all
own.
the time and tears him a new one. It's so good because he's so like. Here's the thing about him: he is so clever yet respectful that
Yeah,
he'll never raise his voice. He never has to. It's like he's very witty and quick, and I don't know if he has all the shit prepared or he just quickly thinks on the spot. But he always finds a way to navigate the conversation where even if he's talking to someone on Fox News, they keep it to like the friendliest terms and he gets out what he needs to get out and he knows how to get them to listen to him. He is fucking fantastic. Like really, that
he's
man
also
is a
Midwestern,
masterclass.
which I appreciate, and he has a great partnership with his husband and a beautiful family. So he's really a great guy.
Totally.
And so anyway, he always starts off every interview, or at some point during the interview, he'll say, "Okay, so here's the thing," and he'll lay it out. So I think you should have a drink every time you see Buttigieg say, "Here's the thing,"
I
um,
love it.
and you're gonna be in for a treat because his things are always gifts. It's funny because at my job, when people come in, they say, "Here's the thing," I'm like, "Oh my god, let me grab a seat. That this is gonna be a long story."
Yeah.
Ugh, you know. But with him, whenever he says, "Here's the thing," I'm like, "Oh, we're in for a treat."
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah, I think we just both simultaneously blew Pete Buttigieg in this one.
Yeah.
Let me wipe myself.
I got coquito on my face.
but we love Pete. He's just the man.
He's amazing.
He's so good. So Pete, if you're listening, we love you. Yes, people, we're gonna get you drugs. So every time Pete says, "Here's the thing," drink away. Up next, this will happen throughout the entire night, at least 50 times, I think,
Yeah.
depending on the states. But drink every time you hear a bam, bam, bam breaking update, whatever it may be. Maybe the Puerto Ricans are going to be upset. Maybe Donald Trump has something to say. Maybe he'll concede the election. Nah, that'll never happen. Who knows? But every time there's some kind of breaking update, you just take a sippy. You pick up that coquito and you drink up, people. And don't forget, we love you. Hit the FratChat Podcast. The goal is to forget. And then tomorrow, by the time you get through like the fourth breaking update, PD over there has said, "Here's the thing," like 3 or 4 times. You saw a couple of celebs uh, that have questionable ties come on the screen. You have Puerto Rico get called. You should be calling out of work right about now. Make sure that you have nothing important to do the next day. That's all we got to tell you here. But anyways, what you got?
Well, I just want to say, as far as updates are concerned, I feel like if you're gonna give me an update, but then follow up with, "It's still too soon to tell," or like, "This is pure speculation," I'm like, "Why are you interrupting
I
like my
know.
primetime television? This is pure speculation."
I
Like,
do that
come
shit
at
all the time, and that's basically so you stay on their channel because there's a lot of nothing happening in election night, and they have to have whatever channel you're on, they have to have these giant graphs and the little numbers tweaking, like rising. So you're watching the screen and something's fucking happening, and that's why they bring in all these people. They bring in all this flash and lights, and they bring all the lightning and the thunder to make you forget that it's bright and sunny outside and there's just not a lot going on. There's counting, and waiting. So that's how they be, like breaking update. People are still counting. Very
yeah.
close to call. We don't really know what's gonna happen. We'll be back over here.
Yeah.
Here we are. And it's like that in every state. So, but it happens all the goddamn time. It's kind of like Kiefer Sutherland saying "damn it" on 24. You just know it's gonna happen. So keep an eye out for them updates, people. They'll get you
Well,
drunk.
my next one is every time, Harris is going to be speaking a lot throughout election day, and she's going to say, "We are not going back" a lot. It's like her catchphrase at the moment. We are not going back. We might if Trump gets elected, but we are not.
Yeah,
We're not going back. I hope not, but we'll see. We'll see,
yeah,
girl.
we really might. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, we're gonna get, and I'm gonna add a surrogate, whether it's Kamala or someone in her team, says we're not going back. Or you see someone wearing a T-shirt that says we're not going back, or a sign. If you see we're not going back, you drink. That's that you're gonna see that, and it's funny because you're right. Like we don't know that.
Yeah.
We really don't know that. It's fucking crazy. I don't know that I've really thought of elections as being as close as they were these last couple. And obviously the Bush and Gore came down to very
A
minimal
recount.
votes. Yeah. So it does happen, but holy shit, these are, like I said, with those, it didn't feel. I felt bad for whoever lost in that particular case because it was so close. To be so close to get in the office you want, and then you lose by that little is insane. But in this particular case, it's the policies are so drastically different that it's I don't know. I don't know. We just gotta hope for the best here. But anyways, by now you should be drunk texting your ex, saying, "Hey, you up?" and put your phone away. Yeah, just don't. It's not nothing good's gonna happen from that. Especially this close to the end of the year. Holidays are coming up. You don't need that toxic shit in your life. So put your phone away at this point.
Yeah. Put it
Listen to us on
away.
your computer or whatever app. If you're on Amazon, you have a Fire Stick, you can put on Spotify on that or wherever you listen to your podcast. But now you're also going to take a drink every time a state gets called. Every time it's official, whether it's for your team or the other team, we're going to throw it up to the sky because that's the American people's will. So celebrate the freedoms of your American brethren and take a drink to cheer.
And take an extra drink if you have no idea where that state is on the map we call world.
Simo's going to die then.
I remember last time being like, Wyoming? Shit, I forgot about that Wyoming. I don't even know where that is.
Wait a minute.
Like, I know North Dakota is
state?
above South Dakota, but I don't know where that pair of states lives on the map. No idea.
Wow. We should I think that would be a great episode. Try to do a Simo and an American map episode.
Ugh.
And see how close you actually get to the 50 states.
I know where Texas is. I know where California, Hawaii, Alaska, like the big outliers. I know Louisiana looks like a pot, I think. Florida looks like a penis a little bit.
We're gonna do this. Oh my god, we're definitely gonna do it. I'm gonna give you an empty map and all the state names, so you don't even have to think of them for yourself, and you just plug them in, and we'll see how many you get right. I think that'll be the greatest game ever. And however how many you get wrong, we'll like donate to charity or something. There's only 50, so at most it'll be a $50 donation if you get every single one wrong, which I have faith
I
in
can
you.
do that.
We can do that. Maybe right here during the holidays coming up. And we can do like a fun one, like St. Jude's or Toys for Tots or something like that.
Or maybe I can build a volleyball court at my kid's school.
Oh,
Wah, 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 wah.
put on a jersey because we're throwing zingers. Oh, got him. That felt good.
Zing. All right. Well, for my last one, I don't know about you, but I'm just so annoyed that every time I open up any social media app or like YouTube, there's a request from some politician to donate money. Like
Oh, all over the place,
at this
dude.
point, if you don't have enough funds, like I don't know what to help you with. Like do you really need money right now? Like people have already made up their mind at this point. Like they're just waiting for Tuesday to come and go. So drink every
Totally.
time you go on social media and you see an ad for either Harris or Trump requesting donations. And they're gonna be requesting it up until the moment that they make a decision. And I don't know if your few dollars up until they count is really gonna make or break the election. But they
Totally.
but they approach it like, "We really need your money." No, you don't. No, you not at this point. Like, you're good. Like, stop
Yeah,
asking for money.
they should really have like a date where campaign donations should stop, like 3 days before the election or something like that. Like by the weekend of the election, like you know who the fuck you're voting, or even by Monday. I don't know, but the day before the election, they stop taking in any donations. So it's like the day before, you already know. You don't need a TV ad to tell you.
But you know what, though? I'm gonna be honest, like, I mean, obviously, I'm voting for Harris because I'm a gay man, and it's no surprise to most people. So, yes, I'm already voting for Harris. She has my vote. However, her videos had this air of like, we're so close and we only had a few dollars from every American, and if you don't give me this few dollars, I'm not sure how election day is going to go.
Yeah, but
So it's really
his
up to
also
you.
like, you need to give us money. These fucking liberals are coming. They're kicking down the doors left and right. Oh my god, they're making everyone trans. Please give us $5. Ah! So it's like, come on. Their trans ads have been the funniest shit I've ever
Oh,
seen.
it's
Like
crazy.
these clearly like AI generated trans people, I swear to God, are like maybe they took like people's Halloween costumes or something. Because it's like they have one where it's like a 45-year-old, like 7-foot trans lady playing basketball with like 11-year-old children. And it's like, wait, where is this happening? That you have 45-year-old, like 7'11" trans ladies playing in like kids' rec third grade leagues. Like, I'm pretty sure that's not happening anywhere. And it's absurd. It's ridiculous. But
Yeah.
both sides really are playing it up. And they're playing, they're playing with fear. Whether legitimate fear or not, I'll leave that up to you guys. But they're both doing it. And the thing is, like, the thing that annoys me, for example, is that if you go on Twitter, and we already know where Elon Musk stands. Every like third post you see now is like a promoted post, like for the Republican Party, saying to donate to vote Republican, or it'll be some like smear ad on the Harris campaign. And like these are the paid ads now that they're taking because no one else would advertise on Twitter anymore after Elon Musk told advertisers to go fuck themselves,
Yeah.
and to literally stop advertising to him if they don't like his content. And now he's trying to sue them into advertising there again. But with that being said, now what you're getting is just Republican pro posts, and it's literally every third post, and it's like, come on, dude. So it is everywhere, and that's why I'm like, man, after a certain time, they should just cut that shit out. But that's just me. Anyways, I saved this one for last because this one will start coming through towards the later part of the evening as states start getting called, as pandemonium starts arising. At this point, you're pretty sloppy. Let's just say you might be, you know, trying to get some Uber Eats delivered to your apartment, or you might be looking through your kitchen and making some weird concoction sandwich using like old cheese and leftover McDonald's ketchup packets from questionable years where maybe Obama or even Bush was still president. You're kind of messy. So we're here to cap off your night to make sure that you end it safely in your couch. And you're going to take a drink that anytime Trump claims fraud on any of the states or anything on the election process, you name it. You take a shotty, you take a drinky, you pick up that coquito and you gulp it down. You get drunk because it's gonna happen. He's already planted the seeds that this is gonna happen. He's already started putting it out there that he's seen fraudulent things happen. Someone who I wonder whose team it is, and started leaking fake videos of election early voting ballots being burnt and shit. And it turns out they were fake because the ballots look totally different. But people are buying this shit. There's a lot of disinformation being put out there about the safety of this election and the ability of the U.S. to take care of your ballots. So it's already starting. And that was his MO last campaign. That was his MO last election. He's still yet to admit publicly, except this one clip where they got him saying it, that he lost the election. I'm pretty sure he spanks J.D. Vance if J.D. Vance even comes close to claiming that Daddy Trump lost the election. So he's pretty mum on the subject. And it's pretty much just become like, like the Kennedy's car accident with what's his face, the one that died in the Senate. Fuck, I'm forgetting his name, but he was a Kennedy anyway. Bobby Kennedy, I think it was. It's just become a mum subject. They don't talk about that shit anymore. So it's bad. It's bad. It's gonna happen. Keep an eye out. Trump is gonna claim a lot of fraud, especially in the battleground states. Maybe like a state like California, he's not gonna say anything. But if he loses Pennsylvania, he's gonna do it. If he loses Florida, he's gonna do it. Loses
Ohio,
Arizona, he's going to do it. Ohio is going to do it. You name it. So keep an eye out, folks. And that was our 10th one, our last one, and our one to guarantee to get you all drunk. Because by now you're going to be shithoused, and you should be thanking us. And maybe wait till tomorrow though, to try getting on social media again, so you don't end up reaching out to your ex or anything like that, or do anything weird. Because you got to make sure to give us a follow on all social channels. Me trying to get some trusty goodbye music here. Hit it. Yeah. There we go. Make sure you give us a follow on all social channels. That FratChat Podcast. That's on Instagram. That's on Facebook. That's on Threads. That's on YouTube. It's on Twitter/X. You can also give me a follow. Check out my website, carlosgarciacomedy.com, or give me a follow on Instagram, Threads, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere. Carlos Does the World, and Twitter/X, Carlos Does World. And give my buddy Seymour over here a follow as well at chris.moore.comedy on Instagram and TikTok, and Seymour Comedy on Twitter/X. Oh, yeah. Let us know how drunk you are. Let us know what you thought of our list. And most of all, let us know if you're still down for freedom, because it's democracy keeps rocking as long as we can keep having these free and fair elections, folks. So get out there and vote. Do your thing. Represent America. And we'll see you on the other side of this, because Mr. Mo, it's time to go. So won't you please get us out of here?
I motion to adjourn this meeting.
And I second. All right, you guys, we'll be back next week with another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasts and time. It's the FratChat Podcast. See ya!
Jill Stein.